Welcome everyone to this live stream. So this live stream is all about the snapping to object settings in CorelDraw. The snapping to object is very useful, especially if you want to move objects accurately, or if you want to make a line which is, say, tangent to a circle, or say perpendicular or midpoint. So these are the things that the snap to object will be helpful. So before going into the main tutorial, I'm just gonna let you know that the Alt plus Z is the shortcut to toggle snapping to objects on and off. Or you can always go to View and then go to Snap to and make sure the object is checked here. Okay, so that you'll experience the snapping of objects, or snapping of node, midpoint, and so on. So I'm going to explain the structure of I'm going to I just consider this as clues, like clues wherein you are it's just letting you know that, okay, you are snapping to the node now, or you are snapping to the edge or midpoint. So these are the clues that you're going to get once you turn on the snapping to objects. So let's start with the node here. So whenever you draw or create a square or a circle or anything, or you can click on a line, and then say, for example, you want to move this object, you can mouse over, or you can go into the edge, or to the lines, and then you'll have this clues, like for example here, that's the node, and then edge, and then if you're in the midpoint, it goes midpoint, which is the triangle, and then edge again, and then node, and that will be the same as that one. And then if you go in the center, and then the center will show up. That means to say you're dragging this object to the center of it, and say, for example, you want to put this to this node here. Now you are sure that it's snapped to the center. So that's very very important, especially when you're creating logos or things like that. So I did like a visuals of what's gonna, or what it looks like, the clues look like. For example, the node would be just like a square, and midpoint is the triangle. So for example here, if I click here and then I'm going to go to the midpoint shows up. And you won't get confused, because aside from the icons, like these are the icons, it also shows you the the name of the snapping settings, right? So for example here, it's midpoint, and so forth. And you also have the perpendicular here. So these are for lines, segments, and then for circles or ellipses, you have tangent, you have quadrant, and also you have center. So for example, I'm going to draw a circle here, and then say I'm going to have a line from here to here, and I'm going to drag this circle to the center. So I just snap there and then go like this, right? Now within a circle, there is also a quadrant. So there's also an edge, like edge, and then once you go here, it says quadrant, and then so you got 4 quadrants. So that's why you have quadrants here. And then later on, I'm going to show the tangent, so tangent of a circle. And so and then this one too is the intersection. So for example, you have 2 intersecting lines, and then say you are creating a line here, and you want to go to this intersection. Once you go to the intersection, it will show that you are hitting the intersection setting or snap. Okay, so that's really useful especially when drawing drawing logos, or you want to be exact. Okay, so I have some exercises here, and feel free to do this, in your spare time, to just to be familiar with the snapping of objects in CorelDraw. So for example, here, I'm going to create a line, say I'm gonna copy this one from here, and then I'm gonna go down, but I want it to be perpendicular. So I'm not just gonna click on edge, but I'm gonna wait for the perpendicular symbol and then click, right? And then I'm create another line, which is say from here, any edge from here, and then go to perpendicular. So that's going to be all 90 degrees here, 90, 90, 90, and 90. So now let's go to this one here. This is the kind of like, I'm going to consider this as a teardrop. So for example, you're going to draw a circle, okay? And then, but I'm going to get the center here. So what I'll do, I'm going to create a line from the center and then going to the quadrant, right? And then this one, I'm going to stretch it up like that. And then now you're going to go create a line from here. And then we're going to find the tangent of the circle. So just go on to the edge until you see the tangent. So that's tangent. And then I create another line, which is from this node to the tangent. There, it shows up. Okay. So once you have that already, I'm just going to select all of this and then go to your shaping tool. So object, shaping, boundary. So basically it created a silhouette of the whole object, and I'm going to move that, and that's going to be your teardrop. Okay. So now let's go to this one here. So with this one, you draw a square. So hold down Control to create a square. And then I'm going to create a circle. Okay. So I'm going to click on circle, and I'm going to put it here for now. And then what I'll do, let's make it bigger. And what I'll do, I'll grab it from the center, and then I'm going to go to the center of this circle. Okay. There. Shows up, and there. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'm just going to make this bigger, and then I'm going to go into the nodes here and then make it tangent to the circle. Just gonna make this smaller a bit. Okay, so we're gonna start with our line Bezier, and then we are going to click here to the node, and then we're going to look for the tangent. Okay, so that's tangent. It's good. And then I'm going to go to, now the shortcut key to, because I can't continue now, because if I continue, it will go like that. But I want to do another line. So here's the shortcut key. If you click on space 2 times, it will go to the previous command or tool, which is the Bezier tool, right? So now I can create another one. So I'm going to go to the midpoint here, and then I'm going to look for tangent there. So double click on the space, and then go here, and then find the tangent there. And then double click space again, and then go to the midpoint, and then find the tangent. Double click space, find tangent. So double click space again. So this is a good exercise for, for choosing the tangent and also the midpoint and the node. So here, tangent, and then the last one. Double click on space. And there you go. Okay, so that's tangent. Now let's go to Let's go to this one here. Again, create a square. Hold down Control to create a square. And this one is easy because what I did here, it's just all the nodes and the midpoints and nodes here. Okay, so I'm gonna create another square, or I can just go here and then square like that. And then I'm going to drag it from the center of the square to the center of the bigger square. Okay, sometimes it doesn't show up, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna mouse over to the two midpoints, and then it will show up there. So now you're confident the smaller circle is the center of the bigger circle. So and then you go to your Bezier tool, and then you go click, click, click midpoint, node, and then node. Okay, so double click on your space. So you go click here, and you go midpoint, and then go like this, and then here, and then double click space again. We'll start here, node, midpoint, and then node again, and then double click again for here, and then we go midpoint, and then the last one would be node. Okay, so now we are going to do this one here. So for this one, I showed this in the one of my videos. So basically you create an ellipse, two ellipses, okay, and then copy this one, plus in your keyboard, and then drag this down, dragging it from the center. And while you're doing that, hold down Control to make it aligned, and then you go to your line tool, and then you go quadrant to quadrant, and double click on space, quadrant to quadrant. Okay, and then so for this one, I think this one is tangency, so same thing. So you create two circles, okay, and then plus sign your keyboard, and then while you're dragging this down, you hold down your shift so it goes to the center. Okay, and I'm going to make another one here, plus sign, and then I'm going to hold down shift to go to the center. Okay, so that would be, so we go tangent or quadrant to tangent. Okay, actually it's tangent to tangent. So what we're going to do is, you can still do this because this is quadrant. So what you can do is you can go to your shape tool, and then you go like this, and then find the tangent. Quadrant. Let's find the tangent. So here, let's go to tangent. So maybe it's not aligned, so we'll just make this higher like that. So we go say edge here first, say any edge here, say here, and then you find the tangent, just that one. So same thing as this one here. So we find the edge, and then quadrant, tangent. Okay, and then so this one, say for example you have like you want to distribute these squares, but you're gonna have like 1 inch from the center of the square and distribute it going to the right. So you create a square, right? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a line, straight line, and then I'm going to size this to 1 inch. So I go here and then I type in 1, and then I'm going to drag this to the center of the square, and then I'm going to plus sign my keyboard and then drag it from the center going to the node, and I'm just going to hit Control D. That. So now you know that it's 1 inch apart from the center. So if you're going to dimension that, so you click this to dimension. So from the center to the center, it's 1 inch. Okay, and then lastly is this one. Say for example you have a line here, and then you want the circles to be lined up here. So you just grab an edge here and then just go to edge. So same thing here. So edge to edge like that. Okay. So now, yeah, so that's good exercise for snapping to object. So for the last part, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, this is more of the application of, creating a logo with using the snap to objects. So I'm going to recreate this Chrome logo. So I'm just going to delete this here. So first I'm going to create the circle, which is the center of the logo. And then I'm going to go plus sign my keyboard to duplicate that, and then hold down Shift and drag this outside. So now I have another circle, and then plus sign in your keyboard again, and then hold down Shift and then make it bigger. So this is basically the logo size. Okay. So now I'm going to my line tool, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to find the tangent. Okay, so that's the tangent, and then double click on the spacebar, and then I'm going to say edge here, and then I'm going to find the tangent. Okay, and then double click on your spacebar again to go to the line tool again, and then here I'm going to click on an edge and then find the tangent. Okay, so now I have that. So the only thing I have to do here is to color it. So I'm gonna go to my smart fill first and fill this, and also this one, and then I'm going to go to my eyedropper, color eyedropper. So sample this color first and then fill. Hold down Shift to sample the color, green, and then fill that, and then Shift again, and then this one. Oh, sorry, that should be the yellow one, and then the last one would be the blue one. And then what I'll do, I'm going to remove the outline by doing here the X. I'll right mouse click here to remove the outline. And lastly, I'll create a line here to the edge. Double click on the spacebar, click here to the edge, to the node, double click spacebar, and this one to the edge. So that would be the so now I'm going to go to my smart fill and then fill this. And then remove the outline here, right mouse click here, and then with this one I'm going to click here, hold down Shift, and I'll make that black, and then I'm going to go to my transparency tool, because this is the part of the logo, and then go to your uniform transparency and then just make it really transparent here. There you go. So now I have the Chrome logo. So that's it. So without this snap to object, I'll have a hard time doing this logo. But because I turn on the snap to object and I use almost all the settings here, and that made my life easy and also accurate, right? Easy, accurate, and you save a lot of time. So thank you for watching. I hope you learn from the snap to object settings, which I always use, because that, I mean, it's not always useful to use object snap, because there are some cases where you don't need the object snap, right? So what you do, you just go Alt Z for the shortcut key to turn it off and on. Alt Z. That's it. So I will. That's all for today. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Thank you.